So, before I even ask you the big question of the episode, I just want to give a little bit of historical context as to why we're even discussing this and why am I even bringing up this question. Because black indie talent and black comic books goes back a long way. In 1947, Orrin Cromwell Evans took it upon himself to publish a company called All Negro Comics. His intentions was purely simple: to use the comic book medium to further highlight the splendid history of Negro journalism. The result of that is a single issue called All Negro Comics, which represents the first known comics magazine written and drawn solely by African American writers and artists. Evans attempted to publish a second issue but was unable to purchase the newsprint required. You can only imagine why. Further on, after All Negroes Comics, we really didn't get another hint of that until 1971 with Leader Comics Group. And we have the first issue of Black Man, written and illustrated by Tom Floyd. This guy had vision when he came to his project because not only was he thinking of just doing Black Man, but he also had other various projects in the works called Riot, Brother Gone Mad, The Magnificent Black Woman, Narco, The Needle Fingered Fiend, and John Henry Jones, the greatest worker to ever live. And Tom Floyd was also going to start his own comic universe, which is called World Leader Force. And the goal of Leader Comics was to promote a positive self image greatly needed in the minority youth throughout the world. And the Leader staff recognized the strong influence on having a group of heroes to direct a positive and educational message via comic books. None of those titles came out. We got one issue of Black Man, and that was that. Fast forward to 1993. We got the creation of Milestone Media, which formed the Milestone Comics division. We got Dwayne McDuffie, Dennis Cowan, Michael Davis, and Derek T. Dingle. These guys are responsible for some of the most iconic black characters out there, like Icon and Rocket, the Blood Syndicate, Hardware, and of course, the most popular creation they made, your boy Static Shock.
I got almost every single one of his books, but go ahead.
Oh man, dude, I'm behind. I gotta catch up, man. And DC Comics, they published their books, and history was made because for the most part, they were the most successful black owned, black created kind of company ever. And in '97, Milestone Comics folded, and a few of their characters lived on in some of the DC books. Now DC Comics currently owns their whole library in their Dakota universe. So that brings us to the year 2021, man. I know Milestone Reborn's coming out this summer. People are looking forward to that. That brings up a question, and my question for you is, could a new Milestone Comics be born from the indie scene? Could some new talent, some new fresh ideas be formed together with a group of individuals to form something that could potentially change the world in terms of the comic book medium?
In a perfect world, yes. In the world we live in right now, no. Because, oh man, people, it's like just like with poverty, you got a low class and you got a high class. So the people that are really popular right now, which is the high class, the people who have a whole lot of followers, a whole lot of supporters, they're basically like, again, the high class. And then the people that's just now starting out, that has a lot of talent, a whole lot of potential, hasn't even reached their full potential yet, and has a lot of growing to do, but still is on a nice path. And all they need is some small bits of guidance. They're the low class, and the high class and the low class do not apparently wants to work together. And it's like, man, we can definitely create something. I feel like, and this is nothing against Marvel and DC. Marvel and DC, I'm still a big fan of both. Not to a lot of the newer stuff, but of course towards the older stuff like the 90s, early 20s. But anyways, so as far as the potential of the next generation of comics is there, man. I feel like it'd be just so much better than what it was back in the day with the Silver Age, Golden Age of comics. But right now, we're just so stuck on like, hey, of course, the whole fiasco with, man, like I want to own this character, and I want all the money and revenue from it. Like people just really being like selfish and not making any type of sacrifices to kind of like, hey, look, you came up with a great character. Okay, you can keep the rights to your character, but let's join the universe. Let's join companies. Let's do all this stuff together and make those sacrifices. And but the thing is, everybody wants to get paid front hand. You know, like artists, they want to get front hand. Writers, you know, they I can't even really speak because I'm a writer myself. I can't really speak on the writers, but I don't want to sound biased. But again, from where I'm at right now, just like from like looking at what everything else that's going on, we're just at a standstill right now because again, people they want to get paid first, and they don't want to like build. They don't want to build brick by brick by coming together and actually building up a universe. So we got these amazing artists that's drawing Marvel and DC characters, not working for Marvel and DC, but they're just drawing Marvel and DC characters just for fun, just for likes and stuff like that, where all that stuff could initially be drawn for the indie comics scene, where, again, just like Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, like they did to create Image Comics, they just everything and they risked everything. Drop Marvel, drop DC, and they came up with their own company. And again, if it wasn't for every single one of those guys, the 7-6 guys that took the create Image Comics, they wouldn't have made it. You know, not just Todd McFarlane can create Image Comics, not just Jim Lee, which he's like my favorite artist. He cannot just create Image Comics. It took all of them. So. Like they wasn't worrying about. Well, I'm not gonna say that I can't speak for them, but again, they put the dream first before they put the money.
They had the unity.
Man, I'm just not seeing that, yo, in the today's age.
Yeah, dude, I totally get what you're saying. Those guys took a huge risk to form Image. Todd, Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson, Jim Lee. I mean, these guys are at the top of their craft and decided to drop it all. Take a risk, but they moved in unison. They were a crew. They were a tight-knit crew. They all had their own characters. They all had that something different to bring to the table. And I mean, just from my observations in this indie scene, you're right. It is all kind of like about this is my character. This is my legacy. I want to get paid up front, and I'm worried about copyrights, and I'm worried about you trying to, there's a little bit of I'm worried you trying to steal my character and steal my ideas and things like that. And there is a little bit of, I would say, like friction between us as terms of creators. And I hear what you're saying kind of about the artists creating fan art, Marvel and DC constantly having tributes to, well-established characters for likes and whatnot. And that's great. But also, I mean, some of these guys have the power to highlight some of these indie characters to an audience that some of these guys don't even have. Let's just say, you got someone who has like 100K plus followers on Instagram, and they just knock out constantly Marvel, DC work or whatever, and there's an indie guy who's got maybe even 500, 1,000 followers. This dude can literally, this artist, him or her, can look at this person's catalog of characters and say, hey, this one looks pretty cool. They can do one image of that character, and boom, there's interest. Who's that? I never seen them before. Oh, that's such and such. You can go onto their page and they got a book out right now. You know what I'm saying?
Grow up. But what's stopping them, I feel like, from my point of view, man. Yeah, from my point of view, and let me do a small disclosure. Any artists, any writers, they can do whatever they want to do. It's their talent. It's their time. It's their free of choice. So let's not get it twisted. But for the people who do want to continue to push forward in the indie comic scene, who do want to take it to the next level, that wants to build that business that could be potentially bigger than Marvel and DC in themselves, then I'm talking to those people. So what stops them from, going to somebody else's page, yo, they got some dope characters, is like, look, they need to pay me for this character that I'm drawing. They need to pay me for that stuff. They Marvel and DC, to draw those characters and stuff like that. And I know they're trying to keep up with their followers, but again, man, like, what legacy can we leave behind? Seriously, what legacy can we leave behind that we drew the next costume from Spider-Man, and that didn't even make it to the movie theaters. Like, let's really try to think about this, man. I feel like if we take these big risks, there's gonna be some big rewards, and I guarantee that we can succeed, man. Like these artists or writers or just creators in general that has over 100,000 followers, that has over 50,000 followers. These big YouTubers, if everybody just came together, man, and just dropped the egos, man, we could kill it out here in this game, man. And the thing is, the next Spider-Man could have been out here. The next Iron Man could have been out here. The next Hellboy, the next, just potential Batman, Superman, all those characters could have been out by now if we all just work together. Because we can't do it alone. Let's just accept that. We cannot do it alone.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. We can't do it alone for sure. It's a real thing. There is no I'm making it by myself and I'm gonna head straight to Hollywood and straight to the press and print and get thousands and thousands and thousands. It doesn't it doesn't work like that. You definitely need, if you're indie guy, you need networking, you need resources, you need connections, you need help. No one is a one man show in this thing, and the people who are supposedly indie who do it by themselves, more than likely, they were pros. They worked for Marvel. They worked for DC. They already established themselves on the professional side. Now they hit the indie side, and now they can get the 50K, 100K plus Kickstarter back books. But for the person who was just, the average Joe Schmo who was just starting out, it takes more. It definitely takes a different kind of effort to even get those kind of numbers on a Kickstarter or on your social media platform to get eyes on your project. For sure, man. Because I got kind of like a dream team here, man. I got a dream team of a collaboration of a couple creators and a couple companies, indie companies that were. If I feel like if they were to combine forces, if they would just come together, I think they would definitely knock down some doors and get some shit done for real, for real. And then, a couple of these. I'm pretty sure you probably know all of them for the most part. I got for traditional, I got my American style books, and then I also have a manga division for this imprint.
Okay.
So yeah, so for the American style, I got three companies.
Okay.
First one, Sovereign Comics.
Okay.
Sovereign Comics. I love the look of their titles, their characters. They're very professional. I believe the artists of a lot of their books work on Delta Dogs as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That dude, like, he kills it, man.
His brother Marvin Mavetta, they're the dynamic duo, bro.
Oh, the dynamic duo. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, they nice with it.
Yeah, man. I really love their art style. Like that Temple High book, that looks pretty cool, man. The Cypher Team, Stars,
Yeah.
like these are legit looking team up books that you could find like in your comic shop. Like for real, you slap DC and Marvel on this joint instead of Sovereign Comics, people would be like, "Oh, this is," you know what I'm saying? Like it's that professional looking.
Like no. I said, if you slap Marvel and DC up there, okay, now we talking. Now I can pick this up.
Now I want it. Yeah. Stamp of approval. Marvel DC automatic buy. No, I like their presentation. I like the way they ship their books. They got like a Sovereign Comics like baggage when they ship their books.
Yep.
The website, the marketing, just everything just screams very like synchronized and professional looking. I think Sovereign Comics definitely in combination with another company, Godhood Comics by Tyler Martin.
Yeah.
Dude, like the antagonists,
Bruh. I cannot wait, man.
that series needs to be on Amazon Prime within a year. Like that should be on the bookshelves on every LCS in the country. Like that's just straight fire, man. The antagonist, a supervillain, a black supervillain family who were originally good guys, but were thwarted by kind of the ideals of America and kind of forced to be bad guys. Dude, just it writes itself, man.
I'm not trying to get hype right now, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, and stuff like that is it boosts my anger of why this isn't on Netflix yet. Like, you don't even need a book; it need to go directly to Netflix,
Right.
directly to all these other streaming services, like stuff like that. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm looking at the pages, like they should easily have over hundreds of thousands of followers, because again, it looks amazing, man. It looks amazing, and they're not getting that notice like they should be, along with Sovereign Comics, Temple High and them. So it's crazy.
Their other titles look phenomenal too. Keisha Carter's Mega Woman,
Yeah,
Sharpshooter, Galactic Patrol Delta. Looks like a phenomenal sci-fi book,
yeah,
team up book. That's kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of like thing. But they all look great and phenomenal, man. And Godhood Comics, Sovereign Comics, that's almost like your Marvel. That's like your Marvel side right there, right?
hmm
And I'm gonna say for like the DC side of this Black Indie imprint, I'm gonna go with Concrete Comics with Lonzo Starr, Acolyte, Absolver, Odina, Andy Starboy. That's sci-fi too, and The Watchmen.
yeah.
Man, you could divide up these companies and stories as like alternative universes. Like Concrete Comics would be 616, and God His Ultimate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, they would have a cool dynamic, team ups, crossovers. All of them have distinctive styles and looks to their comic universes, dude. And then plus, you get a premier artist to illustrate these books like a Marcus Williams. Whoo!
that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, all we need, all we need is that big name brand or that big following to be successful, man. Like, again, if these just any page that has over 100,000 followers, just share one of them and instantly, like, or just mention it, or a YouTuber that has, of course, a good following, that all they do is talk about how Marvel and DC, they're not doing these characters right, they're not doing this right. Like, I mean, at the same time, like, it goes both ways. Like, they can do whatever they want to do with their channel, but at the same time, Marvel and DC, they can do whatever they want to do with their properties. So, I mean, I know it goes both ways. At the same time, again, if we want to see change, we got to be that change, and we got to stop talking about it. Like writers, creators like you and myself. Not only are we talking about the problems, but we're also trying to be about that change. So again, I just challenge everybody out there that's listening in to let's not just complain about it, but let's do something about it.
Yeah, I completely understand when you're talking about the YouTube channels out there who are.
Oh my
Com-
gosh!
I
Oh my
don't want to
gosh!
say no
Every
names.
single video, like, oh have mercy! Oh my gosh!
It's bad. It is.
They are upset.
Hey, highly upset. Like black, white, like all of them, like every race and color, man, highly upset over what's going on and the quality control of Marvel and DC. But it's like you said, man, if there was a unity between the YouTubers and the comic writers and the artists, dude, some major damage would be done, man. Like, imagine one of those, you know what, I know they don't want to do this because, views and interest, whatever, but it's like, you know what? Done with Marvel, done with DC. They're shitty, they're trash, yada yada yada. I'm promoting indie books that are worth my attention, that I actually buy and I actually like. And these are the comic books you should be reading, because comic books, as a quality form of entertainment, it's dead in the mainstream. And this week we're featuring da 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 this comic, Concrete Comics, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Whoever else is out there, you know what I'm saying? It's a unity thing. It'd be something like that where everyone's in sync with each other to help cross promote each other, to get that audience, to get those eyes on the projects that are being done right now.
Yeah, I mean, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take in the manga. I mean, I know we talked about this before, but how the Japanese comics or aka manga, how they are built. They're just built different. How they succeed over there is just built different. You know, we over here we're looking at just off of a comic book cover. We don't have to hear about nothing about the stories. We don't even have to look inside the comic book to basically like just judge it. Apparently, it's like, man, is it a black character in there? Is it a a female lead character? You know, who's writing the book? Who's what do you call it? Like it's just all these different factors instead of just going in there. Like they don't even have color over there. You know what I'm saying? Like they it's it's just based off of the story, man. Not even the art. The art even comes second. Like I know you seen, of course, Hunter x Hunter. They didn't have the best art, or even Attack on Titan didn't really have the best art. Like again, the story is what leads over there in Japan, but over here again, we're our whole judging comics. It depends on everything but the story. But then as soon as they finally crack open the comic book, it has amazing art, it has amazing coloring, it's a female lead, and all these other stereotypes and stuff like that that they want to get added in there. Where we call it that basically like the character has to be black, it has to be a woman, has to be gay, it has to be all these things just so they can open it up. And okay, what we got? Okay, the story sucks. Now I'm gonna make a video 3 hours long complaining about it. Like, no, just that. You know what I'm saying? The pitch idea isn't the front lead that, yo, this is a gay character, you should buy it. No, the story is dope and you should buy it. Like we gotta change our morals of how we start buying our products and stuff, man. And once we start with that, then we'll start seeing a whole bunch of amazing comic books coming to fruition.
Yep. I mean, speaking of manga, man, I'm gonna go ahead with my couple of my picks for a manga division. There's an individual called Inferni. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Inferni Robinson. He's a writer and creator. He has his own manga series called Akai, and it made history. It reached the top charts of the Rookie Shonen Jump contest.
Wow!
It had over 1 million views. Over 1 million views, and it's in Japanese too. It's in kanji.
Yeah.
It's the first black manga, black title, and self-published newbie to sit at the top of those charts. 5,000 copies sold worldwide without any translation. Joins on Amazon right now, man. It has some cool visuals. I don't understand the story per se because of the it's in Japanese, whatever. But man, he killed it. This guy, Fernie Robinson, man, he definitely he's a brother just like us. He killed it, man. He has a new series out right now about a group of sisters in a double Dutch team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Nijuo Orando Go. My Japanese is horrible, but come on now, it's a double Dutch manga.
It's good, it's going to succeed. It don't matter if it's double Dutch, whatever. If it's good, I know this man wrote something fire, bro. Yeah. I know this man wrote something fire because it won't succeed over there if it wasn't fire. So I am interested.
Right, man. And then you have someone like he could definitely write some heat, and then you have someone like Nicholas Drape Ivory. Currently illustrating Milestone Reborn, a relaunch of Static Shock.
Yeah.
He illustrated the Black Panther movie soundtrack cover. He had his own series of books called Dream Vesper. He got some very famous viral artwork of race-bended versions of Final Fantasy VII characters. He's like that one artist who said, I want to see like black manga style. I want to see manga with black characters. Like, He is an artist online to do that style, And I think, him, the combination of those two together, they could make some phenomenal books, man. I mean, I think they could definitely make a mark in this industry. Those two were able to tag team up for something because, like you said, the talent is there, man. All of the talent is out there right now, currently, just waiting to be kind of plucked for view. You know what I'm saying? Kind of everything. The seeds have been sown. It's just up to, I guess, buyers and eyes to grow these guys further up, so they can get up to the sky like Marvel and DC, or even halfway there. You know what I'm saying? I would say there's only one say one company that's making strives to make it happen in that sense. And I think that would be Black Sands Entertainment, man.
Oh my gosh, I cannot praise them enough, man. They are doing work. If people like, if it's anybody out here that can really like say, "Hey, look, we gotta step up our game," it's Black Sands because again, they can talk smack and they can back it up. Like, as
Mm-hmm.
in, okay, yeah, Marvel DC, y'all not like what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Well, do your own thing. Okay, well, we will. And Black Sense, they are doing it, man. They are also bringing up the creators. Even me, like I got my stuff on their Black Sense app. Like again, it didn't matter that I had over 100,000 followers. It didn't matter that you know what I'm saying that I had like a what do you call it like just the minority what is it people who what stuff that people want nowadays that really don't really retain to the story like again like a gay lead or
POC, person of color, or whatever. SJW.
yeah so
Yeah.
like again it didn't matter about any of that. He came up to me saying like yo I heard about your story like as in he went to my website, he read what the premise was and it sounded dope to him. And then he just like, yo, we gotta do business. I was just like, word, let's do it. And bro, let me mind you, I don't even think I had 1,000 followers yet on Instagram. But it didn't matter to him because again, like I was doing quality work. So stuff like that, man, that's how I know a lot of his stuff that's on this app is gonna be fire, just based off of how he approached me. So that's the stuff, man, that we need to start following. It's not because like, oh, this is Wolverine, it's gonna be dope, you know. Oh, this
Right.
because it got or this time it's gonna be dope. No, let's start actually stepping out there, taking a risk because Black Sands they're taking a huge risk. Let's be real. They're taking a huge risk. They're taking on all these different creators and they're putting their necks out there. But at the same time, I will never forget about this company, whether they, God forbid, they fail or not, they succeed, whatever. I will never forget about this company, the company that stood out there. You know what I'm saying? That stood against Marvel and DC, against Hollywood. I don't care how they market. I don't care. They keep asking for money. It takes money to do it. If people keep complaining about, yeah, they all they do is ask for your money, bro. It takes money to do what they're doing. They're doing whatever way they can to basically just like, look, let's color this character black just so we can sell these comics and stuff because we need the money and stuff. Like they're doing whatever they need to do to get your money. Black Sands is basically just trying to build their foundation so they can support people like us. So again, we gotta stop. We gotta stop thinking in the most negative way possible. I'm pretty sure somebody out there that's listening, they're taking every single word I say, and they're just saying the C word. Oh, I'm not sure if you if I can say it on your channel, but they saying the C word all every time they hear words come out of my mouth. Like, yo, he's the C word, he's the C word, he's the C word. And people that's black, they know what I'm talking about when I say the C word.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool, man. We unfiltered on him, man. You can say it, man.
Oh,
You
okay.
know.
He cold up over there, like, nah, bro, chill. I'm just expecting better from the black community, man, because we have so much potential, and it's like we're limiting ourselves. Like, look, you just need to go sign a deal with Marvel and DC so they can own your tail, and then we'll start buying your comics. Just like a YouTuber I reached out to, he said, look, you know, he's only buying comics from the comic book stores. Well, I hope you know that a lot of the comic book stores don't accept content like mine. You know, so how in the world are
Right.
we get to the comic book stores? So it's like, man, like we gotta we gotta drop those gatekeeping myths or whatever. Like, look, I'm only buying this because of this and that. Just buy it because of the story. Just buy it because of the passion that's in there. You know, like oh no, I'm talking. I'm just ranting right now. Let me chill
No,
out.
no, no, you're good, man. You're
Go ahead.
good because I mean, Black Sands Entertainment. You let me know who else is doing the same things that they're doing. They're actually hiring black talent, they're hiring black books, they're publishing, they're giving the word out to other unknown creators whose books are phenomenal. They're great, but they just haven't had eyes on it yet. They got their own app. They're like, you know what? Forget the webtoons thing. We're gonna make our own app so we could have all black talent, all black books on our app, and you can get it straight from the source with us. They're building their own app. Their Patreon. They're starting animation. They're doing videos. They got hardcover books on Amazon. The Seven Kingdom looks great. Everything is phenomenal. It's pristine. The owner, he this dude is a G, man. He will go live and he will just tell it how it is, man. And you just be entranced by it, People say he's talking junk, but it's not junk, it's the truth. He's talking smack, but rightfully so. He's got the numbers, he's
Yeah.
got the books, he's got the credence to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is doing it real time.
Get out, boy.
He's doing it real time, man. Like how can you not at least be like, what, let me grab a book. Let me try to see what's going on here. Let me try to at least showcase, like, they're the only ones putting the foot out there, like the head out there, like you said, and are really trying to hire and highlight the best of what's going on right now in the Black indie talent as best as they can. And I don't see how you can fault them for that. I mean, I invest. I gave them, I think like 250 for investment because I want to see them succeed. I want to see them as a whole go forward. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I'd be proud to be like, hey, I invested in this company, and now they're at such and such. And like, well, what about? I'm not even concerned about returns. I'm just concerned about having them reach that plateau, so people like us can have our stories told in a more accessible way rather than going through all the gatekeeping, all the barriers, all the
Yeah.
hurdles. You know what I'm saying? Black Sands is they're knocking down them walls, man, and they're the only ones on the forefront or who's really kind of doing those things on the real tip. I've seen Concrete and Godhood. They network with each other. I see them do like Clubhouse kind of meetings to like copyrights and how to write a comic. They're doing some great work too of networking and kind of giving back to say, hey, this is how you can write a comic. Hey, this is how you get your copyrights done. Hey, this is how you get this and this and that done. There are other companies and other talent that's doing these things as well, but as an overall package, they running laps. They overlapping people. They're running laps around others, and they actually have the fist up front leading the way, man. So I got to give props to Black Sands. I don't see how you couldn't give props to Black Sands after all the work that they've done. It's like you said, man. It's definitely going to take unity and ego. Ego has to go out the door. I think a lot of ego would have to go out the door in collaboration, and we may not. It has to be, like a one mission, like one team, one fight, sort of appeal, like how Milestone did it, like how Image did it, how hell even early Marvel DC, Stanley, Kirby, Steve Ditko, and them, they had like a one team, one fight kind of thing going on, to propel and create all these majestic, magnificent characters and legacies that they had going on, So division is not a good thing. Division is like some of the worst things I see is like creators just fighting each other. It's like why? It's like why? There's so many other hurdles and there's so many things to do. So why waste your energy beefing with each other? And luckily, I haven't seen too much of that, but it does happen, man. It does. So
I just like to let people know there's a reason. There's a reason why we're not succeeding right now, man. It's a clear reason why we're not getting no new characters.
mm-hmm.
They're rehashing old characters and stuff like that. There's a reason for all that, man. And it really starts with us. So as soon as we change the way we think, the way how we buy our content and stuff like that, we just not gonna change, man, until we change it. So I know it's kind of hard to kind of look at yourself and like, all right, yeah, that was my fault. I need to step up my game. I know it's hard to do that, but as soon as we do that, we can go so much further than where we at right now, man. There's so many characters that's not being made, that's dope as I don't know what, that, you know what I'm saying, that we could really just have out there, bro. Like that could get a Netflix series, that could get a Hulu series or HBO series. Like, bruh, there's so many characters out there, man. But as soon as we change the way we thinking, the sooner we can get them.
Let's just say, in these Black communities and circles throughout the internet, you have a community of fans who made a culture to purchase books and characters that look like them. There's a culture to buy the latest issue of Batman because of a Black Robin or a new Black female villain. I think latest one was like Miss Rose or something like that, and like it was being promoted. Hey, buy this book. There's a new black female villain in this new Batman book. Buy 2 copies physically and don't open both of them and buy one digitally so you can read it. There's a culture and there's positives to these groups because there's information and knowledge bits being spread. There's a sharing of like companionship. Like, hey, we all have similar interests. We all can talk to each other. And some of them are changing for the better. Some of them are highlighting some more of the indie talent. But what I don't want to hear is in 15 to 30 years from now, what I don't want to see is see us in the same fate as Tom Floyd's Black Man and his world leader force superhero universe.
Yeah.
Happening to a majority of our black indie talent in the current year 2021. Every day, we as consumers, collectors, and fans, we have an opportunity to prevent that heartbreaking loss of representation with our dollars. Like, I don't want to see such a, like 20, 30 years from now, such and such book was on Kickstarter in 2020, and this company only produced 500 copies printed. Now this book is worth 5 figures, so go out there and buy it now because it's worth 5 figures. It's like,
so boy, go ahead.
So what? Go ahead. No, you good.
So like, just like with the whole what is it, Ebon? I know you heard about that.
Yeah. I heard some. I saw some posts about that and some videos about Ebon.
Yeah, like just stuff like that, stuff like what you just said with Black Man. Like if we would just showed that same energy as soon as they came out, that would have been a wrap.
Right.
A wrap. Right. But right now, it's like, man, the only reason I'm buying it, not because it's good or not because I want to support the creator, but because I want to cash out. Like I want to cash out. We're not gonna get nowhere with that. We're not gonna get nowhere with that. But go ahead, bro. I ain't mean it, bro. Yeah.
No, you're good, man. It's like that. It's like inside baseball. Like, I know something you don't know. I got this $5,000 value book for $5 because you didn't know it was worth that much. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just like this guy. He had vision. He had steel essentially. John Henry was steel, bald head, black man with a hammer. Wow. Like that's steel. That's DC steel. He came out with his book, I think, like a year before Luke Cage. So, like, imagine if that book got the support it deserved and needed. Think about how fondly we think of Luke Cage and Black Panther and Storm and Black Lightning. We might have had the same feeling towards Black Man. We might have had the same feeling towards Prey, like all the characters that he created. We could have had the same regard as them, and that legacy could have continued past the 70s into the 80s, maybe into the 90s, So it's such a weird culture to not a weird culture. It's a weird thing to keep promoting new Marvel, new DC, automatically get your dollars because they got a first appearance of a black character, yet you have black owned and black created products every single day being released, and you don't even put your eyes on it because it's not Marvel or DC. And I know a part of it is, you've been collecting as a kid. It's been 20, 30 years. You buy comic books, Marvel, DC. I used to be the same thing. I'm only buying Marvel. I'll buy a little bit of DC, but Marvel's the only one I fuck with because they're Marvel. And then slowly I kind of grew out of that. And it's just, this information age. Just imagine how these guys wish they had the internet and technology, how we connect with each other. Economically, we're kind of like the highest we've ever been in this country as well. So you mean to tell me as a black fan of black characters and having our representation and having communication, this information age and this social media age where we're all connected with each other, and you have an opportunity as collectively to change something and you ignore it only 20, 30 years later to say, hey, look, I got it. In the after fact of it all, that's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to work. So,
I mean, let's just keep turning around to Japan. Like, yeah. So let's take the same logic that we take over here with Marvel and DC. That all we going to do is support Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and so on, the OGs of comics. So the OG of manga and stuff like Moroni Kenshin, like we only support Moroni Kenshin, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, and stuff like that. Everything else, we're not supporting. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't get the One Piece, we wouldn't get the Hunter x Hunter, we wouldn't get the Demon Slayer that's done. So we get none of those characters because again they're all indie people. So we
Damn.
you know, so then what? You know what I'm saying? Then what? Let's just take that same energy and carry it over there to Japan and operate how they operate. You know, like hey, you know, we might not have gotten that what's another new attack? We wouldn't have got that Attack on Titan, but I got that first edition of Dragon Ball Z #1. Like, dang, bro.
Yeah, I only fuck with Shonen Jump. That's not, if it ain't in Shonen Jump, it don't matter. It don't count. It's not even manga if it's not in Shonen Jump. Like
they taking it safe, just like Marvel and DC. They taking it safe. They only doing the ones that was successful back in the 80s or whatever. So.
You're right. You're absolutely right, man. We're missing out on a lot of stories and opportunities and legacies just based on a buyer's bias or just just marketing, just branding and marketing. And like you said, who knows what we're missing because we're not willing to take a chance on something, and who knows the opportunities that are missed because we can't come together collectively as a group to try to push everyone forward together instead of just one making it out of a million. You know what I'm saying? Hell, 5 to 10 is better than the one. So, man, my closing sentiments and all this for all you creators out there, y'all keep doing your thing, keep fighting, keep trying, keep creating, keep making your visions come to life because it's needed. It's fresh ideas, fresh perspectives is needed. And I know it's a hard fight, especially if you're just starting out, but we need the indie talent to shine. We need the indie talent to come through so that we can have some stories of relevancy and characters and fresh perspectives.
Yeah, man. And also to anybody out there that's listening, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, let's come together, man. Let's come together. Let's stop fighting individually. You know, let's fight together. Let's create together. Let's have some fun. Let's make the future. Let's get it.